a major factor. It's the most important factor.
There's mainly down to funding. Well, that brings me on to the question about then your AI smart financial investor. Is that making billions of dollars yet, or when do you expect that to get billions of dollars?
Yeah, that's still an early stage project. So we're trading a small test fund, just an inside money now, and experimenting with the system. So we have high hopes, but given the dynamics of that industry, it would still take a number of years to build that to the size, but we can really build money from that for our longevity effort. So in essence, at the moment, my OpenCog General Intelligence project and my longevity research projects, they're really in a similar position to Nuno's projects, which is we are progressing, we're doing stuff, and it's cool. On the other hand, I think we're all in a situation where injections of funding would dramatically accelerate the progress we can make. And it's interesting that we're still in that position as these topics are becoming more popular, because we are seeing big companies make investments in related areas, but yet what you see in nanotech, in life extension, and in AI is that the investments being made by large corporations, while very, very valuable, are still not in the most forward-thinking areas that would yield really the most dramatic benefit, the most dramatic research progress, at least at this stage.
So on that, composing, you're clearly an international traveller. Which countries have you seen that give you the most hope that there could be big investments, big changes for accelerating this change that you were talking about?
Well, actually, I'm working in East Asia, and I think East Asia is doing incredible things. South Korea, Japan, China, Singapore, Taiwan, and now Fiji with Viva! So actually there are many places in East Asia, and I am so happy to go continuously to Japan and South Korea and to China. But I think the USA has the potential to be the leader. This is the greatest market, this is the greatest nation. So I want the USA to move forward faster. Why should the USA be behind China or South Korea? But anyway, we need a competition and cooperation as well. So, because we are all together on this, okay? La revolución is a world revolution. Venga la revolución.
So, the question about these videos that you were showing of the robots, to what extent have these been graphically enhanced? To what extent are these, are they really as good as what is that?
Well, that's a heartwarming question. Just from my perspective, I don't think they're that good. But yeah, definitely, those videos were shot by my wife, Goertzel, who is an AI researcher as well, in our lab in Hong Kong. And those are just videos of researchers in the lab interacting with the robot. There's definitely no enhancement there. We're hoping to enhance the intelligence significantly during the coming months by making robots smarter and smarter.
So there's a question about what you expect each of you to happen in the next 5 years. Is there some wild thing that you think may take place in the next 5 years, which is suddenly going to make the governments of the world, the media of the world, change their whole attitude entirely? So maybe you all want to have a go at answering what would be the biggest credible wild breakthrough in the next 5 years?
I think events like these are crucial.
Events like this.
From the standpoint of AI research, I have talked for a while about the concept of sort of a Sputnik of AI, where something you would achieve that would be so dramatic that every government in the world, as well as large corporations and universities and individuals, would look at that and say, wow, you know, general intelligence at the human level and beyond is going to happen. We can see it's going to happen, and now we just need to work to put in all the finishing touches. So I think we could get there within the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, we're pushing to do that with an open cloud, and one of the cool things about the Hanson robots is it's both a great medium for teaching AIs because they can interact in the human world much like humans, but it's also a great showcase. That's sort of the science fiction AI everyone wants to see, an AI with a smiling human face that interacts like a person. So I'm hoping with OpenCog and robotics, in the next few years, we can create the Sputnik of AGI, and everyone will see these talking intelligent robots and say, wow, you know, that's real. We're really on the path to thinking machines. And then the outcome of that will not just be for walking, talking robots that smile like people. The outcome will be Apollo project scale funding for AI across the board. And that will benefit AI for longevity. It will benefit AI for nanotechnology. It will benefit AI for energy research, such as Jose has been working on. And we'll see an uprising of R&D funding and volunteer passion and enthusiasm for AI across the board.
Oh my goodness, there's something up there that we didn't expect and we have to respond to.
Absolutely. All the technologies are converging and they are changing exponentially. We are combining artificial intelligence and health. We are combining nanotechnology, robotics, and longevity. We will have a lot of energy to power the whole planet. We are moving from fossil fuels that will remain fossil to renewable energy that is basically unlimited, immortal, forever. So anyway, the world is changing exponentially. Think about that. We are going to see more changes in the next 20 years than in 2,000 years. We live in incredible times. We can become the first immortal human generation. Thanks to you.
That brings us to the last question. It's quite a poignant question. It's saying, well, those of us in the audience who like this vision of the future that we're in our 80s, we're healthy, we're in our 80s, what supplements do each of you recommend, or lifestyle changes do you recommend that will make it more likely that those in the 80s will be around to experience this wonderful singularity fusion ahead?
Okay, quickly, I recommend a book by Goertzel and Henry Grossman, Transcend. In Transcend, he explains everything. And in his previous book, Fantastic Voyage, he talks about the 3 bridges, okay, to live long enough to live forever. Bridge 1 is to do what your mother told you. Behave well, don't drink too much, don't smoke. Bridge 2 is biotechnology, that is beginning now. And bridge 3 is nanotechnology, that begins in 5 to 10 years.
So what did your mother tell you there?
Oh, that's a whole other story. Regarding what people in their 80s can do, I would recommend Goertzel. I would recommend Michael Rose, who is a biologist underlying the experiment of evolving flies. So he did this for 40 years at the University of California, Irvine, breeding flies with each other. He was pushing the paleo lifestyle and diet a long time before it became trendy. And if you look online for Michael Rose 55 Theses, he gives a quite fine-grained scientific breakdown of the paleo diet and lifestyle, what's really founded in science and what's just a trend. So I would say that stuff helps, it can make a difference. I mean, Stem Cell 100, which was developed by Ganesh, and the various supplements that Dave Peckin's company is working on will help, but each of these is just a little piece of the picture, and it becomes quite individual. Probably the main thing, which you're probably doing already, is to find a physician who has longevity in mind and get all the tests you can done and understand your own body and what's the best thing for prolonging your own longevity.
Yeah, I would recommend also Life Extension Foundation.
Life Extension Foundation.
Exactly, very medical oriented, well supported. You should look at the website and the data. I've been following their work. It's very good.
Great. So we're not going to take any more questions, unfortunately, because we have a very important speaker just waiting for us in the green room. I hope this hasn't just made your brains get bored. I hope this hasn't just moved your hearts. I hope it's also spoken to your will or your spirit, giving you some inspiration to really take action. Take action individually, and take action for this community, so that we can accelerate this vision that these three wonderful gentlemen will be talking about. Thanks to all of them.